Good morning and welcome to our Facebook Live. My name is Carl Childers and this is Managing Attorney Jeanette Soltis.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we're talking about prenuptial and postnuptial agreements. Everybody probably has heard of them, but what are they? Let's just start basic.
Sure. A prenuptial agreement and also a postnuptial agreement is an agreement between engaged parties or after the marriage, dealing with the finances if the parties are to split up. You can't handle custody or child support, anything related to the children. So it's a document about finances and coming to agreements about how that will work upon divorce.
Is it just for rich people?
No, and that's...
I grew up thinking that.
Yeah, I think that the misconception is that you need a prenup if you're wealthy, and that's it. But there are a lot of situations where you might want a prenup, even if you're not rich. Even if you're young and broke, maybe you're going to accumulate assets. That's certainly the hope, is that you're going to have careers and accumulate assets and not always be broke. So a prenup can talk about what happens to those assets. I think it's important going into marriage to have that financial conversation. And even if you aren't sold that you need a prenup, you're not going to know unless you have this financial conversation about how you're going to handle money during the marriage. And it is very, very common for me to have a divorcing client in front of me, and they will say, well, my spouse doesn't get any of this 401k because it's in my name and I'm the only person who put any money into it. That's not how it works. Another common one is the mortgage and house, they're only in my name and I'm the only one who made the payments. So that should be mine. And that's not how the law works. So you need to have a talk with your fiance. And if the way the two of you agree to handle money is you handle yours, I handle mine, then we consider what's in a bank account with my name on it, my money, then you need a prenup because that's not what the law does. There are other situations too, and really it's just good to talk to an attorney, but an example is a couple who, and this has happened, is entering into a prenup and one of the soon-to-be spouses wants to move out of state, and it means that the other spouse is going to have to quit their job. And they're quitting their job with no prospects in this other area, so they're giving up a lot to enter into this marriage. So what if a year into the marriage it falls apart and this person has given up their job and security and might have zero income? Who knows how long it's going to be for them to get back on their feet. Now the laws in the state where they divorce, the trend is for alimony to not really be paid for a short-term marriage. So issues like that can be addressed in a prenup.
So a prenup could help you bridge the gap for the alimony?
Yes, exactly. If alimony, especially in Georgia, but I think it's kind of the trend everywhere, is that it's really decreasing. It's not, now it's just rehabilitative. It's typically for a longer term marriage. And there's not a calculator either. With child support, we have a calculator. In Georgia, alimony is extremely unpredictable because there's no calculator. So if you want to be able to predict, you need a prenup.
So it's a tool for protection, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you talked about discussing finances with your partner. How do you approach your spouse about a prenup or a postnuptial?
Well, in my situation, what I would do is say, hey, I saw this Facebook Live or I read this article about prenups and it just made me think we need to sit down and talk about finances. And so I think you just start the financial conversation and see what the other person's thinking if you're on the same page. And then based on that conversation, you might say, you know what, since this is how we agree to handle it, it sounds like we need a prenup.
So it's for a peace of mind.
Absolutely.
And opening a relationship or continuing a relationship with a postnuptial agreement, it's just setting a foundation at which to build on and to grow. So you're coming from love by offering this. And I think that's important, that it's not You're not saying that you're not in the marriage, that you're not happy, or you don't want to go forward with it. You want to go forward with it with a peace of mind so you can forget about that and then just pay attention to each other, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's saying this is how we have agreed that in our relationship we're handling finances. So let's memorialize it for that peace of mind. So
what about, when do you use a postnuptial agreement?
Okay, a postnuptial agreement really is the same thing. If you now realize, oh, we probably should have done a prenup, you can go ahead and do a postnup, and it's enforceable. But there are also situations where we have done postnuptial agreements where parties are contemplating divorce, but they really want to give it another shot and go to therapy and try to work on it. But there are concerns about, if I put off the negotiations of the finances, are we going to be able to figure it out later? So sometimes it's a good idea to just go ahead and say, all right, we are going to give this our all and try to make it work. But since we're in agreement now as to how we split things, let's just go ahead and put a postnup in place and memorialize that.
So again, it's the peace of mind and then the freedom that you get from putting the structure in place that allows you to move forward.
Exactly. If you're working on your marriage and you want to give it your all, you don't want in the back of your mind to think, am I screwing myself over? And if I become vulnerable to this person again, am I going to regret it? It gives you that peace of mind.
Okay. All right. You think that wraps it up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, great. I hope you found this helpful. You can contact us for any questions that you may have. Also, as a parting thought, we'll help you with the conversation with your spouse, right? And I think it's a good idea. And we can relay that this is coming from love, that this is not a threat, and it's for both people in the relationship. So check us out on our new website, AtlantaDivorceLawGroup.com, and have a good day.
Thank you.